What's going on? This is Coach Marcus for Pro Fan Talk. Got a little bit of news going on today. Nothing crazy, but reading some of the news coming down the wire. And I had to laugh because didn't we just talk yesterday? Piling on. Everybody wants to accent the negative, so you have a tendency to pile on stuff, right? So today we got a couple stories. Number one, now you got everybody commenting on Tom Brady. Announced his second retirement. He went through that thing a couple weeks ago. He even admitted himself, you only get a chance for one long, emotional, sappy, retirement speech, and he had given it last year. So he knew what the deal was. So he made it short and sweet to the point. And that was actually kind of cool until everybody started trying to sell the sand from the beach. But in any case. But now you got these stories coming out about everybody's like, yeah, Tom didn't look like himself. He was going through a lot of stuff. And that wasn't Tom in 2022. And it's like Captain Obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need comments in regards to that. The dude got divorced. Wasn't seeing his kids. That was weighing on him. Then, the wife shows up on the beach with the jiu-jitsu instructor and all that kind of nonsense. And it's like, no duh, he has stuff on his mind. So, you don't have to reiterate that. Everybody knows. It was pretty obvious what was going on. It was pretty obvious that he was struggling with some stuff, but, he made the most of it and still played better than most. So it is what it is. But it's funny how, everybody wants to bring this stuff up. I'm not trying to do it from the standpoint of piling on, people get mad when they want to get mad. And it is like an exercise in peer pressure. As if everybody else they got something to say, I think I got to have something to say too. So I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, now you're talking about, yeah, you had a lot of stuff going on. No duh. And then, again, with the piling on stuff, now you see all these reports coming out about Russell Wilson. And the stuff that he did and comments that Pete Carroll made about wearing wristbands and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, he made some comments. Gino was wearing wristbands and to make stuff easier. We couldn't do that before. There was resistance to that. Obviously, he's talking about Russell Wilson. Obviously, he wanted him to wear wristbands. Russell didn't want to wear them. Whatever the situation was, it don't matter. The question is, were you worried about that before or after he won you the first Super Bowl? You can't really say much, and that's not something that you want to bitch about after he got you a chip. Because you ain't getting that chip without Russell Wilson, whether you like it or not. And then there was a report today that Russell Wilson came out, he denied it, talking about he was trying to get Pete Carroll fired, want to get him replaced. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. And let's not act like it doesn't happen the other way too. You trying to get somebody out of a deal, you want to pay somebody off, you want to go in a different direction. Good luck to you. If anybody watches this video and ever played professional football, you've had that conversation where you had to go up to talk to the GM or talk to the coach, bring your playbook and all of that kind of stuff, and they give you that coach speak. Hey, we liked you, but it's just not working out. That conversation gets a lot worse, and it's a lot more nuanced when you got a veteran player that, for all intent and purposes, has been playing well, and you got to let him go because of salary reasons or whatever. So it works both ways. So I'm not going to sit here and act like it's that big of a deal because Russell Wilson may have said he wanted a different coach. Because at some point in time, maybe Pete Carroll said he wanted a different quarterback because he ain't wear wristbands. Let's get off of that. They ain't crybabies. Lastly, real quick, Combine is coming up. NFL Combine is coming up. It'll be in Indianapolis again. Here is where everybody needs to start rolling tape. Because here, you're going to get all of these guys, all of these media heads, and Todd McShay's, and all of these people that study and watch college football, and they just know they are the be all end all when it comes to knowledge for all of these young players coming out. And at the end of the day, and I said this before and I will continue to say it, everybody's guessing. Everybody's guessing. You don't know what these kids are going to produce when they step on the field. You don't know if they're going to be boom or bust. For every Joey Burrow, you're going to have Ryan Leaf. You're going to have Jamarcus Russell. You know, they fail more than they succeed when it comes to picking guys who are going to do what in the draft. So at the end of the day, watch tape like everybody else. They put too much emphasis on these little metrics, and it's almost like the analytics creep into just an evaluation. You know what I mean? And it's like they looking at the kid from Alabama, and everybody keeps saying he's too small. And it's, you know what? They told him he was too small to go to Alabama probably. But at the end of the day, when the kid steps on the field, what does he produce? Now, he might not be right for you, but if the kid's got skills, he's got skills. Same thing. Who's going to be the next Brock Purdy? Who's going to be the next Jalen Hurts? You look at what they're going through in Chicago. Are they going to trade Justin Fields to get the first pick in the draft and draft another quarterback? Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. So on top of, you get all of these media heads that think they know everything about everything when it comes to these college players. They don't. Now you got all of these teams sending out all this subterfuge just to confuse people so they don't know what they're going to do in the draft. Because everybody's wheeling and dealing about that. So it's very interesting. And all of this stuff happens every year. You know the game by now. You know what they're doing. But everybody buys into it hook, line, and sinker. So we got enough media outlets. Now everybody's going to be going back and looking at highlights again from all of these college players, because you don't recognize 90% of the names. So what you're going to do is you're going to find out where your team look at all these mock drafts. Well, who should we get? Then you're going to go find a highlight tape on the kid, and the highlight tape don't really tell you nothing. And most of these scouts that are picking these mock drafts and on ESPN and places like that, they're looking at highlights. They don't watch all of these damn games. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You got some people out there that follow Alabama football. You got some people out there that will follow Eastern Kentucky football. Whatever the situation is, whatever your school is, Kentucky, Duke, Georgia, Florida State. If you follow that school, you follow that school. So you will know about those athletes at that school and in that conference. You will get a little bit of information if your school played somebody else and that somebody else had a great player. You get a little bit of information because you just get a snapshot of what they did when you played them. But rarely are all these guys going back and watching a ton of tape. Some guys do. Most of them don't. They're getting fed information. They're watching highlights. Oh, he looks good coming off the edge and this, that, and the other. But did you see the other 9 games that he didn't do anything in? Or did you just watch that one game where he had all the highlight tapes? So you're going to have a lot of people wrong. You're going to have a lot of people eating crow, claiming they knew all along. And you'll get a lot of those I told you so moments and stuff like that. But you know what? Go back, and if you're going to try to evaluate a player, here's what you do. If you can find some tape or find an entire game, find that player, find that team, and watch at least 5 games, 5 to 6 games, no less. Because that way you can see his best plays, you can see his worst plays, you can see what happens when he doesn't have the ball, you can see if he hustles when he's away from the play, all of that other kind of stuff to see what kind of player you got. You got to watch that type of tape. So let's get ready for the draft. The Eagles still don't have any coordinators yet. So that's going to be funny. So we got to make a move before we get to that combine, because that's where you're supposed to evaluate. And you want your coordinators to be able to evaluate talent. So let's get ready for the combine. Hopefully the Eagles will have some pieces in place. And if not, there's a lot of noise going on. You see what's going on in Chicago. You see what's going on in Baltimore. Now they talking about Lamar trading him, or maybe he'll go to Washington, or like all kind of stuff is coming out. It's like, man, listen, Baltimore, get that deal done and get that guy signed. Y'all better stop playing. And, you know, not for nothing, Lamar, if that's on you, like, dude, you better sign that contract, make that money, and get back in house so you can get some stuff done, because, you know, you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you got to learn a whole nother offense again, and you don't want to start that process over again. You in a good spot, and take advantage of it. You got a good coach, take advantage of it. Yes, you need some pieces, but you in a better spot than most people. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. It's going to be very interesting this next week as we build up and all of this stuff. Jalen's contract, what they're going to do with Daniel Jones. It's around the league. It's around the league. It's a lot of stuff going on around the league. A lot of pieces getting put in place. Everybody's setting up their chessboard on what they're going to do going into this combine and going into next year's draft. It's a lot of wheeling and dealing. It'll be fun to watch. Peace.